A wise former heavyweight boxer once said, "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face." Every time I hear this statement, it kind of reminded me of what happened to former Prime Minister Ali Razmara. He was a true patriot with a huge political potential, to the point that they called him the second version of Reza Shah. Hi, my name is Matin Bahaduri, and today I am going to talk about the former Prime Minister with a huge potential, Ali Razmara. Let's see what happened. As you can see, here are the sources that I used for this video. I have compared 9 sources from this video. 8 of them are translated from Persian to English. One being The Political Life of Ali Razmara, written by Jafar Mehdinian. The second one is Mossadegh and the Murder of Razmara. Was Mossadegh a constitutionalist? Video by Khosrow Farvahar. The third source I used is Muhammad Mossadegh and Power Struggle, translated by Ahmad Tadin. The fourth source I've used is Behind the Scenes of Assassination of Razmara, nicknamed the Second Reza Shah, video by Megafact. Fifth one is Mossadegh, Who Runs the Iranian Oil, 1953, Part 2, video by Persian History. The sixth source that I've used for this video was Mossadegh's dismissal of Razmara for the prime ministership, video by Megafact. The sixth source I've used is what was behind the murder and removal of Lieutenant General Razmara, video by Sharif Farang. The seventh source is the book Mossadegh, Oil and Iranian Nationalism, written by Roger Lewis and James Bale. And the last one is The Players of Pahlavi's Afternoon, From Furuqi to Fardoost, written by Mahmoud Tulu'i. What a beautiful coffee. Now that I have your attention, it's time to get down into the history business. Ali Razmara used to be a former prime minister of Iran from 1950 to 1951. But friendly reminder, he only served as a prime minister for only 8 months. He was born in Tehran in Iran. His father used to be a former artillery colonel. His grandfather, however, used to be a barn owner of Nasiruddin Shah of Qajar and a former major general of Cossack Brigade, the same Cossack Brigade that Reza Shah was serving in and used to make a coup d'etat against the Qajar dynasty. Ali Razmara married to a woman named Andar al-Muluk, which is related to Sadegh Hidayat. How cute. It's time to talk about his achievements, his studies, where he studied, and which university he went through, and most importantly, what were the thoughts of his teachers. As a kid, he received a private teacher and he was homeschooled because of the situations in Iran got worse and worse during the Qajar dynasty. Different uprisings came in. Uprisings got stronger and stronger. And as the situations got a lot calmer and he grew up, he went to the Holy High School in Tehran. And after he was done with the Holy High School in Tehran, he studied overseas in Alliance University. Not only he earned the respect of a lot of teachers, but he was so good to the point that the day he left the school, a teacher quoted in a corner of his report card, he was a healthy and a smart kid. It's unfortunate he is leaving us. After he finished studying overseas, he studied in Darul Funun military school, and afterwards he studied in Mushir-ud-Dawla military school. And after he finished the school, he ended up in the first rank military school of Mushir-ud-Dawla. And after the fact that he finished his time in Mushir-ud-Dawla school, it was time for him to rise and shine in his military career. Now let's talk about his military career. After the fact that he finished the Mushir-ud-Dawla military school, he received his first honor. In 1920, he received second lieutenant after his military school career. 1922, captain. 1927, he received major. 1929, he received second colonel. 1935, colonel. 1939, brigadier general. 1944, major general. And 1949, general. Keep it in mind, at age of 47, he became the youngest man to receive the badge of honor of a general. How good was he in military? Very good. To the point he became the youngest general in history of Iran. Think about it. Ali Razmara played a major role in loads of operations, including shutting down rebels in different regions of Iran. First, he participated in the Simcoe-Shikak revolt, where Simcoe-Shikak wanted to separate northwestern and western Iran away from Iran itself. And Simcoe-Shikak tried to do so with help of the Ottoman mercenaries. However, Assyrians and Iranian troops defeated the Shikak tribe, and they ended up unaliving Simcoe-Shikak himself. He also participated in suppressing the jungle movement, where Mirza Kuchak Khan Jangali wanted to take over the control of Iran with the help of Soviet Union. He was also sent to suppress the Lur/autonomous United Bakhtiari/Luristan rebels, where Ali Mardan Khan was leading a rebellion. And if you remember, I also spoke about the truth behind the Ali Mardan Khan rebellion the leftists did not tell you before. But anyway, not only Ali Razmara did his job well, but he also stayed there to make sure there was no rebels left. He was also ordered by Reza Shah to improve geographical situations in Iran in terms of military and safety. Not only he did that, but he also wrote multiple books dedicated to improving geographical situations in terms of military and security. He also played an absolute major role in the crisis of 1946, where Azerbaijan and Western Iran was about to be separated by Qazi Muhammad and other communist separatists, which in the end, the separatists were defeated. Remember when I spoke about the books Ali Razmara wrote? Here are the books, as you can see. And when Reza Shah saw those, he was literally impressed by how smart Ali Razmara was. People often talk about how much of a founding father of modern-day Iran Reza Shah was, which I agree. However, people will never talk about the fact that if that wasn't because of Ali Razmara, there wouldn't be such a thing as modern-day Iranian provinces. Now let's talk about Ali Razmara's relationship with both Shahs. He had a great relationship with Reza Shah. However, he had a strange relationship with Mohammad Reza Shah. As you can see, this is how his relationship went with Mohammad Reza Shah. As Gattuso says,
sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
In all seriousness, let's talk about his relationship with both kings, to be fair. As I said, Ali Razmara's relationships was a lot better with Reza Shah than it was with Mohammad Reza Shah. Reza Shah saw his potential, and when he saw what Razmara can do after sending him to multiple operations and missions, Razmara delivered very well. Not only Reza Shah was amazed by how amazing Razmara was in military, but people also started to compare Razmara with Reza Shah himself during his days as Sardar Sepah. And Razmara didn't hate it, considering the fact that Razmara idolized Reza Shah himself. However, he had a strange relationship with Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. First thing I would definitely say is that Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi used to have a good relationship with Ali Razmara himself. He didn't have an issue in the beginning, especially with the fact when Razmara was victorious during the crisis of Azerbaijan, the Shah was impressed with Razmara first. Ashraf Pahlavi, who was the sister of Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, also liked Razmara a lot. They used to write a lot of letters to each other to the point they almost fell in love with each other. Key word, almost. Don't come at me and attack me, please. But because of the fact that they have realized they are married and they have to take care of their family, they both decided to become mutual friends. They didn't make love or anything. Don't worry about it. Anyways, after they realized they were both married and have to take care of their family, they decided to become mutual friends. But Ali Razmara made a vow to Ashraf Pahlavi to protect Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, no matter what. And Razmara accepted that vow. And he did so for the most part. Even though he made mistakes, he still did his duty. However, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, when he was young, he didn't trust Razmara based on his past mistakes, and even had complications when Razmara became prime minister. He even overheard the rumors that Razmara wanted to make a coup d'etat happen against Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, and he wanted to make an Iranian republic in Ataturk style. And people may ask me, Martin, where does those accusations come from? Why Razmara got accused of being associated with Tudeh party? I'll tell you exactly why. So sit back, relax, and watch the video. Now, considering the fact that Razmara was a military man, he also was known for being kind towards the inmates that he arrested. But he did not know it's gonna be a bad consequences for him. And I'm gonna tell you why. One of the main reasons why Razmara got rumored to be associated with the Tudeh party is his relationship with Khosrow Rozbeh and Ahmad Dehqan, who were two of the members of Tudeh party who got arrested. And when Dehqan and Rozbeh saw how kind Ali Razmara was towards them, they found an opportunity to escape the jail they went in. Now, considering the fact that Razmara was angry that he made a big fat mistake, he learned from that mistake and he told himself he will not be kind again to the prisoners. Now, another reason why Razmara got accused of being associated with Tudeh party is his late arrival at Shah's hospital when Tudeh party member did an assassination attempt on Shah. And when Shah needed Razmara, Razmara arrived very late. He also had a lot of issues with Shah's court. The Shah's court believed all the coup d'etat rumors, which made Razmara a bit insecure towards them. He even went as far as having drama with Zahedi. But to everybody's surprise, Mansur al-Muluk steps in and solves the problem between Razmara and Zahedi, And since then, Razmara and Zahedi were cool with each other. Now, ever since all of this were over, Razmara had to face his biggest challenge yet. And what is that? I will tell you. Ali Razmara became a prime minister in 1950. But he knew that he had a hard job in hand. Why? I'll tell you. So, bear with me. As I mentioned, at first, Shah didn't want Razmara to be prime minister. But in a parliamentary election, Razmara received 90 votes of confidences, and because of the fact Shah knew that there was loads of crisis going on, including oil crisis with Britain, or should I say the West, he appointed Razmara as a prime minister. Now, Razmara made a big mistake during his time as a prime ministership, and that's him confiscated a doctor. Razmara confiscated the doctor because of the fact that the doctor's patient died during an operation. But later on, Razmara apologized to the doctor for confiscating him. Razmara made some strict, strange rules that was very controversial to a lot of people, including banning going out with home clothes, banning vandalizing the walls, banning honking in certain areas that needed some quiet times, as an example, doctors and hospitals, banning cussing in local spaces, and he tried to improve driving rules. And before his time as a prime minister, he literally arrested Mossadegh and Kashani for continuous treasons and continuous disagreements with Razmara's rules. Considering the fact that Mossadegh gets released immediately, Ayatollah Abul Qasim Kashani goes into an exile to Beirut in Lebanon. And after he came back from his exile from Beirut, he wanted to ruin Razmara's reputation. Two of the hardest things Razmara had to face as an Iranian prime minister was, one, facing the judgments of an Iranian National Front, and two, his hardest task yet, the Iranian oil crisis. Now let's talk about Ali Razmara's oil policy and his beef with Iranian National Front. When Shah appointed Razmara as a prime minister, he wanted Razmara to do something about the whole oil crisis with Britain, or should I say the West. But Razmara received different reports than what Shah wanted. When people were speaking about the nationalization of Iranian oil, Razmara was very critical towards the nationalization of Iranian oil, and he was critical by saying this: "Gentlemen, I'm against the nationalization of the oil because we don't have the tools to manage a cemetery factor, let alone an oil deal. We need to adapt the 50-50 oil deal and make money out of it temporarily before thinking about nationalization." Unfortunately, Mossadegh did not let this slide and responded with an immediate death threat. He responded with,
"Iranians consider a government that engages in such slave-like humiliation as illegitimate. God knows if they, the West, kill us, we won't go under the burden of such people. I swear to Allah, there will be bloodshed, there will be bloodshed. We will fight and we may get killed. If you're a military man, then I'm more of a soldier than you are. Out of anybody I'll kill you, Mr. Razmara."
Let's not forget about the fact that when Razmara was in a conference, the Iranian National Front tried to literally distract him through loads of ways, from stomping on the ground to literally Mossadegh making fake feints. And Mossadegh fake fainted in order for a distraction of Ali Razmara and stop the Majlis. However, Razmara stood his ground and he did not care, and he continued with his speech. There is a reason why I call him Mossadegh, because of the fact that he fake faints like a silent fart. The reason why Razmara got accused of being a Western puppet is because of him being critical towards the nationalization of oil. Now let's get into his oil deal with the West. Razmara wanted to split the oil money between Iran and the West 50-50, and he was successful about it. But that was not enough. He was not just arguing about 50-50 oil deal. He was also arguing about a 13% foreign fees in case something bad happened to everybody when it comes to extracting the oil. And after a while of back and forth between Iranian National Front and Razmara, and after the oil deal, Razmara became so powerful that even the Iranian National Front didn't stand a chance against him. So they decided to do one thing and one thing only. What did they do? You'll see. The Iranian National Front came to this decision. In order to eliminate Razmara, they have to eliminate him physically. That's right, assassination. Mossadegh and Kashani talked about how to eliminate Razmara, because at this point they didn't know what to do. Razmara's power grew stronger and stronger. They came to this decision. They have to terrorize Razmara in order to nationalize the Iranian oil. On the March of 1951, when Razmara went to a funeral of a mullah called Mirza Muhammad Faiz Qumi, hours after the funeral, he was found dead, or should I say in Persian, Darefani ro veda goft. Ali Razmara was assassinated, and we all know what happened. However, there are different stories on who unalived Razmara, or should I say, ordered to unalive Razmara, and I will tell you the stories. Some people will say Shah wanted to eliminate Razmara because of the fact that he had no reaction for Razmara's terrorization, or should I say assassination, and he also believed the rumors about Razmara making coup d'etat against Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. It's safe to say Shah was fooled into believing Razmara was a bad guy. Other people will say Tudeh party ordered to unalive Razmara based on the Western puppet accusations. Other people will say Fadayin Islam because of the back and forth beef between Razmara and Fadayin Islam, and the fact that Kashani got arrested by Razmara himself. Other people will say the Iranian National Front ordered the assassination based on the back and forth beef with Razmara about oil. Other sources will tell you that King's Court was responsible for Razmara's death because of the same reason as the National Front and the Shah. But let's talk about the reality here. The reality is he was unalived by Khalil Tamhasabi. He was so honest about it that he said he doesn't regret unaliving Ali Razmara. He also said, nobody ordered me to unalive Razmara. I did it on my own accord. Kashani had nothing to do with it. But if he told me not to do it, I wouldn't do that. Nawab Safavi, who was the member of the Fadayin Islam, literally said, even though I'm happy about the assassination of Ali Razmara, I had nothing to do with it. The one who ordered for the assassination of Razmara were the Iranian National Front led by Mossadegh. It's safe to say that despite the fact that the member of the Fadayin Islam, Khalil Tamhasabi, was responsible for Ali Razmara's death, it was none other than the Iranian National Front who ordered for Razmara's assassination. Not only that, Mossadegh, alongside the Iranian National Front, advocated for the release of Khalil Tamhasabi. Leftist media will tell you that is not true, but there is a mind-blowing evidence to prove so. As you can see, there is a leaked article of Bakhtar newsletter. Bakhtar newsletter has been known for being a mouthpiece for the Iranian National Front run by Hossein Fatemi. And as you can see, an article of today's Bakhtar leaked the advocacy of Mossadegh for release of the murderer of Razmara. On the left side, you can see that Khalil Tamhasabi refers Razmara as a traitor. On the right side of today's Bakhtar, there's an article that says at 10 o'clock in the morning when Khalil Tamhasabi was in a prison, in the yesterday afternoon, he was released, went to the Prime Minister's home and thanked Mossadegh for his release. And then Khalil Tamhasabi went out of Mossadegh's home on 11 o'clock. Now, before we end the video, I would love to add some points, aka conclusions. I made a long list of the conclusions where I talk about, was Ali Razmara a bad person? What kind of person was Ali Razmara? How was Shah's policy towards Razmara and what we have learned from this video? Let's go. It's safe to say that Ali Razmara was interestingly smart, and he was so good at military that he received the honor of a general at the age of 47. He was the youngest man to receive such honor. He was the founding father of the modern-day Iranian military geographical provinces since the 1900s, when Iran's geographical situations was getting worse during the Qajar times. He played a major role in improving military during the beginning of the Mohammad Reza Shah era. What made Ali Razmara great is his self-awareness of his mistakes, and that's what made him a strong politician. And his oil politics aged very well considering how Mossadegh's nationalization, or should I say, oil governmentization, crippled Iran's economy. Ali Razmara's oil policy, which means the 50-50 deal plus the 13% foreign fees, could have improved Iran's economy in less than 15 years. What made it great is the fact that he went into argument when Iran didn't have any shipments and any tools to extract the oil. And he came close to make that deal successful. Unfortunately for him, he got assassinated. Now, considering the fact that Mohammad Reza Shah was young, he was fooled into believing the oil nationalization chant and Razmara making coup against Mohammad Reza Shah himself rumors. When Shah returned to Iran in 1953 after downfall of Mohammad Mossadegh, not only he admitted that he made a mistake, but he also promised he won't make the same mistake he did during Razmara's prime ministership. And what made him a lot greater is the fact that he knew the Iranian people a lot better. And no matter what risk could have gone against Razmara himself, he still did his job as a prime minister. Ali Razmara was one of the most underrated and overlooked Iranian politicians. Considering all the conclusions we went through, there are loads of questions surrounding Ali Razmara's name. What if Ali Razmara did not make any mistakes? What if Shah trusted Razmara and was not insecure about trusting Razmara? What if Razmara was not assassinated? What if his oil deal was successful to the point that Iran will be made into a prosperous nation. All right, I'm going to end this video. It was nice. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you follow my Instagram and TikTok for more content. Until the next video, Beirut.